Welcome to the office on Lagos Talks 91.3. My name is Michelle Ago. Yes, the office is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management and Lagos Talks 91.3. And as you know, on the office every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. until 5 p.m., we discuss the office, literally how to grow your career, the right work ethics to have, how organizations and business owners can turn around their business to fit the trends of today's world. And every single Thursday, we have expert guests who join us to provide insights, give the best of advice, answer questions that I will be fielding to them on how to improve our career to be more profitable to us. Now, today, just like every other day, we have an expert, except that today we have a super special guest. Now, my guest is the Registrar and Chief Executive of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. She has a comprehensive and strategic understanding of human capital management, leadership management development, workforce planning, performance management, change management, learning and development, employee relations, diversity and inclusion, personal management coaching, HR information systems, total rewards and remuneration, mergers and acquisitions, and transformation turnaround projects. What an interesting profile. But it's not just there. She also diverse her experience in human resource management, which spans a 28-year period as a senior HR executive and consultant across industries, sectors in the United Kingdom and Nigeria. She's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development UK, that's the Chartered FCIPD, and an accredited trainer with the Center for Management Development Nigeria. My guest today is Ms. Oluwatoyin Naiwo. She's joining us today. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the office.
Good evening, Michelle. It's good to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, and I'm super pleased to have you join us today on the office. We look forward to learning from you. And today's conversation is going to be about the ABCs of human resource management. I think this is a very interesting topic. It's going to be very eye-opening because of the many people out there who are looking to launch a career in human resource management, or who are looking to go into different tertiary institutions to study human resource management, or maybe for those who want to diversify their career or have a switch in their career and are looking towards the HR field. I think this will be a guide for them to know what to do, or to know what the HR industry is all about. So Mrs. Naiwo, in layman's terms, what is human resource management, and what exactly is the role of HR in an organization?
Okay, thank you very much, Michelle. Should I put it in layman's terms, like you say?
Yes, please.
In the past, maybe it's jokingly or not, we used to have HR or personnel management called the function that hires and fires. Well, actually, HR is more than that. We are responsible for ensuring that we manage the employees of an organization, and we provide support to ensure that the workforce are able to maximize the potential that they bring to the organization. Okay. So in layman's terms, they support the organization to manage the workforce. And as you know, the people are the greatest assets of any organization. So HR plays a very fundamental role in ensuring that businesses are well managed through the manner in which we manage the people that deliver the work.
Right. All right. So it's all about people's management, from what I can get, and how yes, and how they fit into the organizational goals and objectives. Now, as an experienced professional, would you say HR is a profitable career?
Definitely. I've been in HR now well over 25 years, and I've practiced in the United Kingdom and in recent times in Nigeria. And I took that decision because I had a love and a knack for people. I love managing people. I love relating to people. I love everything that has to do with engaging with people and ensuring that they're able to maximize their potential and give the best in whatever they do. And that raised my interest in human resource management and actually going into that as a career. If I think about the last 25 years of my career, I would say I've had a fantastic time in HR. I'm still flying. I'm always excited about the concept of managing people, supporting them to transform organizations. So I would say definitely it is a profitable career to go into. But I also have to say we have to start from somewhere. And maybe I should tell you a little story surrounding how I got into HR if you have the time.
Please do. Go ahead.
I think, again, this would help people that are looking to move into HR, especially the millennials or the Gen Z, as we call them, is that you have to have that passion for managing people. But in addition to that, you would have to acknowledge the fact that it is we have a microwave generation, as I call them now, the younger ones. You have to start from somewhere. So I went into HR because of, like I said before, my love for managing people, working with people, relating to people. I'm very much an extrovert, and that prompted me. But what I learned very quickly when I started my qualification in HR was the fact that I had to go back more or less to a beginner's class. So by the time I went into HR in the United Kingdom, I was already working in the care field as a deputy manager. But I was told, and again, there's another story to that as well, that as a Black woman, again, unquote, Black woman in Britain, there were certain things I had to do. I had to say to myself, I have to work 10 times harder to get to where my white counterparts were. That means I had to go back to the basics. What did I mean by going back to the basics? I went from £25,000 per annum salary to a £9,000 per annum salary to get into an internship role in HR. You can imagine that. I mean, look at the salary. And what did I do to me actually and do for me? It was quite an eye-opener. I learned very quickly within 6 months. And I can tell you, within a 2-year space, I was back at the £25,000 per annum. And that went on and on and on and on until I became an interim consultant, earning hundreds of pounds per annum and per day, and then calculate that into per annum. So it's definitely a profitable career, not just the monetary side, but it's also the fulfillment that comes from working with people and seeing people grow, seeing people develop. I mean, I say to a lot of my team members, it's now about the legacy that I'm building. How do we develop people? How do we manage people? A lot of doing that actually helps the organization. If people are happy and they're motivated in their work, you'll definitely see the returns on the profits, on the surplus of the organizations that they work for.
Yeah. So besides your story and your background in the UK, here in Nigeria, is it equally as profitable?
I would say yes.
All right. Now, what are the basics that a newbie in the profession must know to grow and succeed as an HR professional?
Okay, Michelle, let me say this. I said definitely yes. Definitely yes, because I've been back in the country about 10 years. Okay. And I've sort of had to, and I've worked with quite a lot of individuals in the HR field, from the HR officer, if I call it that, to the HR directors and the MDs of different organizations. And I've seen people grow through their careers. I've seen people actually appreciate the fact, not just in terms of the monetary aspect, like I keep saying to you, but in terms of personal and self-fulfillment, and that sense of I've achieved something in my life. I've been able to make a difference to somebody's life because of the way I've helped to manage their workforce. So definitely in Nigeria, a profitable career. And then going on to your next question, what would a newbie need to know to grow?
Yes.
And I would say for someone coming into HR, I think number one is you have to face your reality. It may not be easy in the beginning. There's a lot to learn. You have to be a fast learner. If you're not a people lover, if you're not one that is able to engage properly, have good interpersonal skills, and be able to support people through, because again, in HR, we have different aspects and what we call the HR value chain, and we'll come to that later. You must be able to learn on the job, ensure that you also appoint or select for yourself a good mentor. I would say that that's very important, because they will be the ones that actually act as those ones, as a pillar of support for you in the first few years. I was very lucky in my career in the UK, starting out in HR. I had fantastic managers that put me through, and they'll say, Toyin, you have to learn the basics in HR. You must learn the basics. You cannot just say, I'm coming in and I'm going straight into specialize in a particular area. Every HR person, I always say, I think, and that's for those that are listening to me, they may be able to attest to it, the experienced professionals, we would always start from recruitment. If you're in an HR career and you don't start from recruitment, I'll be very surprised. I think that's just the basic foundation. Learn how to hire and attract the right candidates for your organization, because that's what gives the entire employee life cycle, what we call the entire employee life cycle, starts from recruitment. So I would say, is that reality? Do I love managing people? Do I love working with people? Am I people-oriented? Because it's all about people. And you would sometimes face those challenges where you're thinking, wow, did I take the right decision to go into this profession? So definitely for the newbies, face your reality, ensure that you're ready to learn, submit yourself in terms of your development to whoever is managing and supporting you, and be ready to listen. Listen, and also communication, very key. Yes.
All right. Be a good listener, amongst many other things. Now, for those newly branching into HR, would you advise being a generalist or being a specialist? I mean, focusing on a specific area of HR value chain, or should they just be all-rounded in all fronts? How should they approach this coming into the HR space?
Okay, my perspective again, I would normally and generally advise that you go out or you launch your career as a generalist. Again, I say that for the purpose of when you are now moving into the very senior roles. When I started my HR career, I started as a generalist. So I learned every aspect of the HR value chain, from employee resourcing to employee development, learning and development, compensation and benefits, work-life balance, everything that has to do with the HR value chain, HR information systems. And the benefit of that for me was that when I started going into senior management roles, for my team members in what we call centers of excellence, and when I say centers of excellence, I'm referring to the HR value chain, where you would have, for instance, HR business partners that would handle recruitment, HR business partners that would handle employee development. I had a good knowledge of every area of the HR value chain. So managing my team leads in those different centers of excellence was not a problem for me. So if you come to me and you mention or you talk about a particular area of challenge, I may not be able to go into the depths of it, but I had a good understanding, and it was easier for me to relate and take decisions. I specialized in employment relations and employment law, so that became really second nature to me. I could move into those areas and deal with all employee relations issues. But having said that, I would say, but then a lot of people would say sometimes they work in consulting firms, for instance, and they're thrown straight into consulting in an area of reward. Well, I've found managing people over the years, when they've come in and I've had to work with them, I've seen the gaps come through that. So I would say, generally, the advice is learn as much as you can, even for a couple of years, of what HR value chain is all about.
All right. Thank you so much for that reinforcement. Are there certain soft skills that HR professionals or practitioners must have? If yes, what are these soft skills, especially those that are important in this day and age?
Okay. I think we mentioned a bit of soft skills as we've gone along. I've talked about listening skills.
Yes. Being a people's person as well.
as in good interpersonal skills, communication, adaptability. As an HR professional, you can be thrown into any situation. 1 minute you're managing, and you have to be flexible. 1 minute you're managing a resource issue, the next minute you're being told your people are about to go on strike. How are you going to handle that? So flexibility is also very important. Adaptability is important. Another key area for HR practitioners is problem solving. We're like the psychologists of our organization, believe it or not. We're like the psychiatrists, we're the counselors. When people have issues in the organization, they say, go to HR. Go to HR. It's like HR has a solution to everything.
Yeah.
So problem-solving skills, very key, very important. People expect that you know it all. It's only when they get before you that you're saying, okay, thank you very much. That aspect that you just raised with me, can I come back to you on that? Because I need to have a further research or actually consult other experts on what you just raised with me. So it's quite important in terms of problem solving. Teamwork is another thing. You cannot operate in a silo. You cannot. It's not in HR. I've mentioned already that we have centers of excellence. We have the business partnering model. So we have the different aspects of the HR value chain that more or less interrelate. I also talked about the employee life cycle, right from when we hire the employee to when they exit the organization. All those processes are managed by different members of the team. We always say team means together, everyone achieves more. You cannot not be a team player if you're going to be successful in your HR career.
Okay, thank you. Now, how can one join CIPM? Now, we cannot overemphasize the importance of CIPM because we have learned so much. The quality of people that we've spoken to since the inception of the show, The Office, is quite envious. You know, one would wonder, where can I associate with this set of people or this class of people or these professionals in general? And it's just one common denominator, the fact that they are all members of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. So I'm sure someone out there who is interested in growing an HR career and also seeking out new mentors to grow their network and, of course, net worth will want to associate with the CIPM. So how can one join CIPM, which is the apex regulatory body of the HR practice in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you, Michelle. And I am actually very proud of the fact that you've had guests that have made you proud of CIPM. So I'm hoping, Michelle, that I'll be sending someone your way.
Okay.
Get you to become a member of CIPM. We've already sold CIPM to you, so come on, Michelle. We're going to lead by example.
Yes.
And actually, CIPM, as you've always done. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Yes, we are the body chartered by law to regulate the practice of human in Nigeria, and we have a responsibility for promoting and developing the profession, ensuring that we're able to disseminate and provide continuous knowledge, exchange information amongst our practitioners. So that's what we do in a nutshell. To join CIPM, we have a variety of membership routes. We have the professional exams route, so members or potential members would have to write exams, and we have a criteria for that. We have different levels of exams that our individuals, aspiring members will take from foundation right up to the professional exams. For the exams, we actually run 4 diets a year. That's our student members can sit for the exams 4 times a year. So you can go very sharp, very smart, depending on what level you come in at. You could be done in a year to a year and a half, and you become an associate member of the institute. We also have what we call membership by experience, HR practitioners route. Within the HR practitioners route, that's why experienced HR practitioners that are not yet certified by CIPM. And I have to say to you, in all honesty, what our charter says, if you're out there practicing HR without being certified by CIPM, you are breaking the law. The charter and the act is very clear about that. But we're working on that. That's another topic for another day. So we invite members that are out there practicing HR, in management, in admin, whether in the public sector, private sector, that have the requisite knowledge, experience, so coming through the HR practitioners route. We also have, and that's for individuals with seven years experience, that's for the HR practitioners route, and a lot of other criteria comes with that as well. We also have the executive route, which is for our more senior members, in terms of more senior potential members, I would say, that have been in the field for over 12 years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of criteria, whether you belong to the private sector or to the public sector. And when you actually apply and you're successfully admitted through the executive route, you would come in through what we call, or you come in as CIPM, which is the full membership of the institute. The last membership grade is you would have to be in the institute, be a part of the institute before you can become or attain the fellowship status. We also have the academia, which comes under the practitioner's route for individuals aspiring through the tertiary institutions or in the education sector that are interested in becoming members. We have that route as well. Lecturers, all welcome through that route. They have a responsibility for imparting knowledge to members or potential members that are studying HR in the tertiary institutions. So we also welcome applications from them as well. In addition to that, we also have the military. So you can see, Michelle, we provided a bouquet of opportunities for individuals that may be interested in joining the institute. And again, what are the benefits of joining the institute? One of it is that you become a licensed professional. So we have what we call the HR practitioner's license, which you would be given that upon induction when you're admitted and certified as a member of the institute. It has a validity period of 3 years, and the validity period ensures that our members are continuously developing themselves. So after a 3-year period, they will have to be recertified to continue to practice HR. Again, we have resources, we have a library, we have an e-library, we have opportunities for our members to attend events at discounted rates. We also have what we call a corporate membership. That is where we have organizations that are members of the institute. So we don't just have individual membership. What I went through in the first instance was individual membership. We also have what we call corporate membership, where organizations become members or apply to become members of CIPM, and they enjoy discounted rates and other membership value actualization, as my president will call it, benefits for joining the institute.
Wow, the benefits are clearly enormous. Thank you so much. And it seems as though there's something for everyone. For those who have grown experience in the field and are looking to become certified, they know exactly what to do. And for those who are starting as freshers in the industry, I love the fact that you broke down the fact that if they're serious and focused, it could be achieved in a year with about 4 exams written to be written in a period of 1 year. And I guess I just have to ask you one last question, and that is how they can approach CIPM now that they know what it takes. Where do they go from here? Is there a website? Are you online? Is there, some more details you would like to share for those who would love to follow up with more information online?
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, we have a website, www.cipmnigeria.org. www.cipmnigeria.org, and online you'll find information about the different membership admission routes, and you can actually make your application or submit your application online as well. In addition, you can be contacted via our call center on 070 012 37555. And I'll repeat again, 070 012-37555, or you can email info@cipmnigeria.org. info@cipmnigeria.org. And everyone and anyone, you're welcome to visit the website, use the resources that are there, learn a bit more about CIPM. We also have our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram. So just type in CIPM and you would be able to follow everything happening within the Institute and outside the Institute. And I have to say, Michelle, I have to add this, I'm so proud of this. We actually launched our CIPM UK branch. So we're not just in Nigeria alone. We are represented in 27 states of the Federation. We have 27 branches. So we're not just a CIPM in Lagos. We have branches and we have 5 zonal offices with zonal coordinators that can attend to potential members and our members across the nation. And we have also recently launched the CIPM UK branch, November last year. And we're looking to move into North America and into Canada and so on and so forth.
Wow. I don't know. I just love what I just heard. Thank you for sharing that with us. Clearly, the opportunities are mouth-watering. They're endless, and they continue to evolve, which is something that I guess goes with the HR industry evolving, keeping up with trends, times, generations, and people. People continue to change, people continue to evolve. So does technology, so does leadership, and it's good that the HR, the CIPM to be specific, is bridging that gap and going along with the lines and being far ahead. So it's good. I hope that when you eventually get to North America, you will be the first to know. We don't want to hear months later. We want to be aware, part of our news stories. Thank you so much, Ms. Oluwatoyin Naiwo. We do appreciate you for joining us on the office today. Do you have any last thoughts to share before you go?
Yeah, well, I would say it's a fantastic profession to be in. I've not known anything else in my career. I've always been in HR. And I would say it's one of the best decisions I made to go into HR. And we have a fantastic support network within CIPM as an institute. We have fantastic collaboration going on with other professional bodies within Nigeria and outside Nigeria as well, which makes us very attractive. We also have fantastic learning programs. So I would encourage members or listeners out there to go online, check our website for all our programs, our learning and development programs, our events. Our conference is coming up November 13 to 16, 2023, and it's going to be in Abuja, an international conference and exhibit, an international conference center, ICC in Abuja, and that promises to be a great event alongside other events that we've got planned for the year. So I would encourage everyone, just watch out for us. We're still going places. The bus has left the station. We're not there yet, but we're definitely getting there. And again, we have a fantastic governing council as well, made up of our members that supports and continuously supports the growth, and they make huge contributions to the development of the institute. So we're indeed blessed to have a member. So I'll say, Michelle, welcome to CIPM in advance as well. Encourage others to join us.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope we'll have you back sometime soon before the conference in November to speak more to us and for those that are coming into the HR space. Until then, have a beautiful evening.
Thank you very much, Michelle. You too.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.